Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla Incorporated, has announced that the U.S. electric vehicle and his rocket firm SpaceX are facing substantial inflationary pressures in raw materials and logistics. Today, we're diving into this, so stay tuned. First up, Tesla and SpaceX under inflationary pressure. Elon Musk, the multi-billionaire we all love to hate, has stated that his two firms, Tesla Incorporated and SpaceX, are experiencing significant inflationary pressure, but he has no intentions of liquidating his cryptocurrency holdings. Musk, the world's richest person by net worth, said in a tweet on Sunday that both an electric vehicle manufacturer and the space exploration firm are seeing considerable recent inflation pressure in raw materials and logistics. His remarks follow the publication of official statistics this week that showed consumer prices rose at a 7.9% annual rate last month, the highest rate in over 4 decades. In a second survey conducted by the Wall Street Journal, non-white voters were more likely to say recent inflation has put a significant financial hardship on their lives. Musk stated in Twitter that, as a general rule, for anyone seeking guidance from this thread, it is preferable to hold real assets such as a home or shares in firms you believe manufacture good goods rather than dollars when inflation is high. I still own and won't sell my Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Doge. According to CoinDesk, the current price of Bitcoin is roughly $39,000. It's nearly half of what it was in November when it peaked. The Bloomberg Billionaires Index estimates Musk's net worth is around $206 billion. Next, Musk and his cryptocurrency holding. Musk previously mentioned that he owns the two most important crypto assets and Dogecoin in a conversation with Jack Dorsey and Cathie Wood. As a part of the Phrase convention in July of 2021, Musk, the world's wealthiest individual with an estimated net worth of over $200 billion, has never divulged how much crypto he owns. However, he has stated that the vast bulk of his money is invested in shares of his firms. Musk seldom discusses his cryptocurrency holdings in public. He's more known for using his Twitter account to post funny memes. A few hours after claiming that he could be hanging on to his cryptocurrency, he challenged Russian President Vladimir Putin to a single fight. Nonetheless, his most recent update on his crypto holdings indicates that he sees the asset class as a long-term investment play. Prior to today, Musk has shown glimpses of his belief in the potential of cryptocurrency. On May 19th, when the market plummeted due to tiredness and worries of China's Bitcoin mining ban, he famously tweeted that Tesla had, quote, diamond palms, implying that it may be hanging on to Bitcoin it possesses on its balance sheet. He's previously been recorded claiming that he believes cryptocurrency has a chance of becoming the world's long-term currency. Musk's comments came after the United States posted a 40-year high of 7.9% last week. With Bitcoin being marketed as an inflationary hedge, the United States macroeconomic environment has emerged as a hot topic of debate in the crypto community in recent weeks. Nonetheless, the market indicated that there was minimal reaction to the news. Throughout the previous week, Bitcoin and most distinct properties remained static, continuing a months-long pattern of poor value movement throughout the crypto market. And now, we touch on the Ukraine problem. Musk's views on inflation come at a time when rising energy, food, and service prices are the main drivers of inflation. The disruptions in the oil and commodities markets caused by the Ukraine conflict are projected to contribute to cost pressures in the coming months. Consumers' prices were previously this high during a recession in January of 1982. Musk also questioned about the prognosis for inflation rates in a tweet on Sunday, stating his firms are not alone, and retweeting an item claiming that the Ukraine-Russia crisis has brought commodity prices to their highest levels since 2008. Next, we have supply chain disruptions. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has caused a spike in the costs of metals used in automobiles, ranging from aluminum and bodywork to palladium in catalytic converters to high-grade nickel in electric vehicle batteries, and customers are expected to bear the brunt of the cost. Tesla and SpaceX did not respond to requests for further information. As traditional automakers and startups prepared to introduce new vehicles this year after resolving issues connected to semiconductor shortages, rising raw material prices have increased worries about EV economics. Furthermore, the geopolitical issues posed by Ukraine's invasion have hampered industrial operations in the United States and made it harder for raw material suppliers to quote costs. Next, shortages and mispricing of semiconductors. Just when there were signs that the semiconductor deficit was lessening, the invasion has caused further interruptions in the supply of crucial materials, as well as a troubling rise in pricing. pricing, according to Hargreaves Lansdowne analyst Susanna Streeter. According to Wells Fargo analysts, nickel, a major ingredient used in batteries, is up 130% this year, while cobalt, lithium, and aluminum are up 16% to 88%. Musk's enterprises may also be harmed by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has prompted an abrupt halt in half of the world's neon output. During the conflict, two Ukrainian businesses, Ingas and Cryoin, which manufacture between 45 and 54% of the world's semiconductor-grade neon, have been forced to suspend operations. Neon is an important component in lasers, which are used to create semiconductors, also known as chips, which help power the current technology found in Tesla's in-car computers and, of course, your cell phone. The lack of neon supply would further worsen the existing semiconductor scarcity that has plagued automakers, triggering many production shutdowns. Up next, asking his followers about inflation prediction. Musk asked his 77.7 million Twitter followers what they felt about the likely inflation rate in the next few years. Inflation expectations matter because how individuals perceive future price movements influences actual inflation and how and when the Federal Reserve raises interest rates. According to research issued Monday by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, people in February forecast 6% inflation a year from now on, a new high and an increase from 5.8% in January. According to the bank, the increase was widespread across age, education, and income categories, but was greatest among those without a high school diploma. In January, wholesale prices grew 1% over the previous month and 9.7% year over year, according to the Producer Price Index. The latter was the second highest yearly gain for producers ever recorded, and that's likely what has Musk concerned. Last Sunday, Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk turned to Twitter to ask his followers what they thought about the, quote, potential inflation fee in the future. When MicroStrategy CEO and well-known Bitcoin advocate Michael Saylor chimed in, predicting that U.S. inflation would rise and demand for rare assets, such as Bitcoin, would skyrocket, Musk answered by recognizing that Saylor's prediction was not entirely speculative. Inflation is felt by everyone, from consumers to corporations. According to financial data source FactSet, more than 350 S&P 500 businesses mentioned inflation on their results calls during the most recent quarter, the most since at least 2010. Tesla upped the pricing of its popular SUVs and sedans in China and the U.S. by $1,000 last week. The corporation hiked the cost of all of its models in the U.S. A variation of the Model 3 and Model Y were priced more in China. It's the second rise in the last week. Tesla did not provide an explanation for the price hikes. Tesla's China website quoted the Model 3 Performance starting price at 367,900 won, or $57,648 on Tuesday. According to the South China Morning Post, the price was 349,900 won on March 10th, after an increase earlier that day. The Model Y long range now costs 375,900 won in China, up from 357,900 won previously. The Model Y Performance is now priced at 417,900 won, up from 397,900 won before. Now, the effect on other companies. Musk's remarks reflected Tesla's recent performance. Last year's earnings were hampered by rising logistical and material expenses, according to the business. Other corporations ranging from soda manufacturer Coca-Cola to consumer goods major Procter & Gamble have been facing similar pressures. Coca-Cola Chief Financial Officer John Murphy told analysts on the company's fourth quarter earnings call last month that inflationary and supply chain pressures continue to have an impact on costs across several fronts in the business, including input costs, transportation, marketing, and operating expenses. P&G, the makers of Pampers diapers and Tide laundry detergent, said it expects inflationary pressure to continue as material availability remains stretched in some categories and in some markets. Inflationary pressures are broad-based, with little sign of near-term relief, said Andre Schulten, P&G's chief financial officer, on the company's second quarter earnings call in January. Lastly, the drop in Tesla stock. Rivian Automotive Incorporated warned that it would slash planned production in half, while Toyota Motor Company said it could reduce output owing to supply chain concerns. Rivian and Nikola Corps shares were down between 0.7 and 2.7% in pre-market trade, while Tesla was slightly higher. Nonetheless, Musk dropped out of the $200 billion club in February as Tesla's stock stock has struggled after reaching a record high of more than $1,220 per share in November of last year. Tesla shares have dropped more than 12% in the last month alone, and analysts, including Wedbush's Dan Ives, expect the firm to boost car pricing in order to pass on inflation to consumers. That's a wrap for this video, but we'll see you in the next one. Take care.